Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS, 104.1 FM, KMOX. What a great song, right? Maybe it's because this is from my childhood or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the more country version of Desperado. Something, you know what I mean? Just like...
A more fun version of
Yeah.
Desperado's not a very fun song.
True, yeah.
This song is super fun.
This one and Devil Went Down to Georgia were such a big part of my childhood.
Oh, mine too.
Like, I was just...
I feel like every morning on the drive to school, I would hear Devil Went Down to Georgia
Yeah.
on K-Hits.
Yeah, it was a jam.
It was a jam.
Yeah, it was a real jam.
Sometimes, I remember one time my mom diving for the knob to turn it down before he said, "I told you once, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but I've heard that song every morning for the last
Right.
like 10 years, and you've
Yeah.
never done this before. I've heard the word.
I remember being in Kevin Feite's bedroom, listening to Sweet Home Alabama, realizing they say GD, and we would just rewind the tape over and over and giggle every time they said it. Like we were the only ones who knew they did it.
We figured it out.
Have you ever seen the film Sweet Home Alabama?
Nope, I have not.
With Lindsay Lohan?
Reese Witherspoon.
It's been on my
Oh,
list. I just
okay.
haven't gotten to it.
I love that movie. It's not good. But it came out like when I was a teenager, and I really enjoyed it then.
I'm trying to think of the most that kind of movie I've ever seen.
Like a chick flick, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a chick flick.
Like I saw a few sad chick flicks like Terms of Endearment and things like that because I was alive when it came out. But I think I saw The Notebook.
I'm just thinking now of the term chick flick, and I'm like, why can't you just say like a movie for ladies?
Because it doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, but it's like a chick flick. I don't know.
It's not punchy
I
enough.
feel weird saying it each time it's come out of my mouth.
Well, you need to
This
keep
segment.
saying it.
It's tradition.
You know what bugged me? I don't want to just jump right into politics. We'll get to some politics. This isn't really politics, although it's kind of exactly what politics is. George Santos had a Christmas party called Santos Claus. And
Okay, now it's good.
the story, the only reason I know about it is Lauren Boebert got in a fight with the security guard bouncer because she was on the list and a couple of her peeps are on the list, but she brought more people. And she thought she had the juice to get in, and she didn't, and they sent her packing. And that was the story. But to me, the story was George Santos had a party, and someone went. And then I started reading the article, and there are these quotes from Burchett, the Republican, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it sounds like pretty much everyone from Congress was at this party, and it was so much fun.
Yeah,
and
Trump was probably
no
there.
one throws a party like George, and I'm not sure of all the things that can make you feel stupid as an American in the last few years. I think this may have made me feel the most stupid of all. Like I've always known this. We all kind of know this, but it's too terrible to even contemplate. So we kind of pretend to each other that it's not the truth. But these people, they have zero integrity. It's all a farce. It's all fake. Maybe good people get into Congress, but I don't think good people come out of Congress. It's just this big party that we are not invited to.
Well, I turned down the invitation to George's party.
Crazy.
Like, of all the people in the world that you would think you would not want to be associated with, it's someone who has just been proven to be a lying con man.
Yeah, he got pardoned. He's fine. He's innocent.
Yeah, but part of accepting a pardon is acknowledging your guilt.
Completely exonerated.
Completely exonerated.
I mean,
I personally feel dumb. Like even talking about it on a radio show to talk about politics in a real way now. Oh, did you see the Trump and the healthcare savings accounts? Blah, blah, blah. I just feel dumb even talking. Because I just feel like it doesn't matter. Couldn't matter less what any of us say. Because we're not billionaires and we don't have access and no one really cares about our opinion.
Big club, and we're not in it.
Nope. But we fund it.
Yep. Well, it's because we're scatterbrained. We have there's 350 million of us, and we all have different views and all different things, so we can't get together to agree on anything. So,
And they know that.
of course they do.
And they play it.
Of course they do. Of course
Last
they do.
thing they want is us getting together.
It's not some kind of crazy ass conspiracy. It's observable.
Yeah, it's right there.
They play the game. They play us all the time. They pit us against each other. Yo, the person that's really hurting you is that person right down the street from you. Like, no, it's you.
Yeah, but
it's you.
Because we are like we are, we play right into their hands because they effectively, successfully keep us from each other. We won't blame the system. We won't blame Trump. We won't blame George Santos. We'll just blame whoever's on the other side because that's convenient.
It's an easier target. Or you'll blame some small population of people because they can't fight back.
Yeah.
Which is just, all of it is just nonsensical. It's nonsensical. Because the rules aren't being made for the betterment of the average American citizen. They're just not.
No.
If you could tell me how they are, let me know. I mean, I'd love it. Because we've never seen, I mean, if you look at the most booming times for the average American, they were when taxes on rich people were way higher. And taxes on corporations were way higher. But, we know who makes the rules, so we can't have that anymore. That's not allowed. That's not fair.
They just started out on that, but it just...
You would think he'd be a person that's just, like, toxic. And
You would
also,
think.
why? Like, what draw is there to George Santos?
Plus, how's he paying for this giant party? I thought we took all his money.
I'm
Oh,
sure
no,
he
they
stole
pardoned
from
him.
people. Nah, but he stole from people, I'm sure.
Jeez. I need to get this one out of my face as well. We've had many discussions about immigration, illegal immigration, ICE, all that kind of stuff. But I saw a story today that really pissed me off. No one is going to come grab me out of Darden Prairie and put me in the back of a truck. But a U.S. citizen, not someone with a visa or a green card, a U.S. citizen on the streets in Minneapolis was kidnapped by ICE, taken by force, as he was screaming, "I am a U.S. citizen and I have my passport." And they didn't care. And so they took him to a federal facility about 7 miles from where he was taken. And a few hours later, someone finally looked at his passport. He's as legal as you or me. And they let him go. And he said, "Can you at least drive me back to where you picked me up?" And they said no. And he walked back in the snow. I don't know why that fact bothers me so much. But, like, how effing dare you? How dare you? How dare you? A branch of the United States of America arrested a person because they were brown. And the reason they gave, he looked Somali.
Yeah, he was a black guy.
He looked Somali.
Somali, whatever that means
Yeah,
to these ICE agents.
right.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean,
Stupid and cruel.
it's why people argue for due process. The police can't do that to you if they think you committed murder. They have to go get in it. They have to go get a warrant, and they have to, read you your rights and do all this kind of stuff. You don't, and not to mention just the investigation that they have to go through. They can't just be like driving down the street and go, "I bet that guy committed a murder." So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you protect the innocent, is by making the challenge, putting the onus on the accuser.
He was eating his lunch break. He was on his lunch break. A masked man running full speed tackled and shoved him into a restaurant where he was put in a headlock by ICE agents and thrown into a vehicle. He was released after being allowed to show his passport finally hours later.
With no probable cause whatsoever.
Yep.
And these I'm sorry, but there's no way no way should be legal for any of these ICE officers to be wearing masks. I'm sorry.
Well, they're wearing masks because they know that what they're doing
I know.
is stupid,
This is my
cruel,
point.
and cowardly.
This is
as
my
I've said
point.
many
Like, when
times.
you look around, you don't see police officers wearing masks when they're doing their job. Right? Well, if what you're doing is legal and straight up, then why do you need to hide who you are?
Yeah. And look, if ICE has a probable cause to think that someone is here illegally and they detain them, they arrest them.
Yeah.
If they are a criminal, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not a criminal, it makes me a little uncomfortable, but you're here illegally. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. But my God, a U.S. citizen who happened to be brown, who happened to, quote unquote, look Somali, that was the probable cause. To physically take them down, restrain them, arrest them, when the guy is offering to show you his identification.
Mm-hmm. So if he has it on him, why aren't you just pulling it out of his pocket and looking at it?
They said they weren't interested.
Yeah. And that's the point. This was not about doing anything right. This was about, I don't know, maybe it's about hitting their numbers.
It's about racism, Kevin.
Well,
it's about racism and
get it.
xenophobia. This would never happen to a white person. It never has, and it never will, because they're stupid and cruel and cowardly.
Right. What I'm saying is those people could easily say we can spend our time on other people if this guy just has a passport in his pocket because now it's over.
Save us some time.
I know. Right. You're like, you're not wasting your own time if you just like, oh, okay, let's see your passport. Well, all right, you're good to go.
Rach, any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think it highlights the problem of like the passport is kind of beside the point. I think Andrew's right. I think the point is, I don't think you look like my idea of an American. So I'm going to put you through an incredibly unpleasant experience. Whether or not I have the right to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I don't want to see your passport because I want to detain you. I want to arrest you. I want to abuse you.
Yeah, I want you to
and it's
suffer.
because you don't look the way I think you should look.
I want to inflict punishment upon you, whether I'm supposed to or not. That's why I'm wearing the mask, so that then, when it later turns out that I am not allowed to inflict this punishment upon you, you can't enact any kind of
accountability
or revenge of any kind.
And then
upon me.
Might as well get it out now. 7 years ago, you'll remember, there was a meeting with some senators, and several of them alleged that Donald Trump referred to African countries as S-hole countries, and he vehemently denied it. And at least one of the Republican senators there said, I heard every word he said, and he never said it. And then he just came out last night during a speech, didn't just say it, referenced that meeting 7 years ago, and said, in this meeting, I said S-hole countries. I guess it should be just stock in trade. I guess whenever, Trump tells a lie, I shouldn't be shocked. But for some reason, that wouldn't really bother me. That he denied it for 7 years, and then it's like, oh, yeah. And
We have the audio of that
says
if
it
you
braggingly.
want to hear it. We have the audio.
Sure,
of
go
it.
ahead.
It's the top one on the...
We had a meeting, and I say, why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships.
Yeah, then he went on to say, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Ilhan Omar. I don't agree with her politics. I think some of her stuff's kind of shady, but she's a sitting United States congressperson. And he said she and her cute little turban should get the hell out of our country. You got it?
Yeah, that one too.
All right.
I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from her country where, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no.
Look, there's every indication that in as little as 20 or 30 years, white Christians will be the minority in the United States. and I've said this forever, what happens, or how would you feel if you were still around and a Muslim president talked about a sitting member of Congress who was Christian and said she and her cute little cross need to get the hell out of here?
Well, they're terrified of it. They're terrified of being treated
is
the
it
way
different?
that they treat others. See, that's why they have these fears of, quote unquote Sharia law, whatever they think that means, or fears of Muslims or people from other countries, because they are afraid that one day they will be the minority and that they will be treated the way that they treat people currently. That's the fear.
I would think that would be a reason to treat the person who may be in charge next well.
Well, because you're a good person.
Well, but the whole point is they're trying to make it so that nobody like that is ever
it
in
can't
charge,
happen.
so it can't happen, regardless of what the politics, or what the demographics are. But there's just so much I don't understand in the way that those sound bites come across. So the reason people come here from places that are not good is because they're trying to get away from
Trying
the
to do
bad
better.
to do better, which is what every one of our ancestors did.
Yep.
Which is what Donald Trump's grandfather did.
That's why
right?
your
Like,
people left Ireland
that's
and my
exactly
people left
right.
Scotland because they didn't have it very good and they wanted to do better.
Yeah, I think that is just horribly ignorant, and I would guess that doesn't matter. I mean, you hear the people hearing it, and they're all cheering, and you're like, well, but someone related to you did the same thing. It was just a little further back in history, but someone that you share blood with did the same thing.
That's the point, is they share blood with that person.
Right.
Like we're dancing around the it's very
You're thinking too
blatant
hard.
Yeah, like we're all trying to
Give me some people
justify
from
something
Norway.
that's not
Give me some
justifiable.
people from Denmark.
Right. Like
Yeah.
those are not the countries he's calling the S-hole countries, right?
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Big Red Highlights are brought to you by KMOX Radio, the sports voice of St. Louis.
There, when every game mattered.
Here's Lomax back taking the snap, four-man rush. He throws long down the middle, Green, touchdown! Touchdown!
Cardinal football on the move.
Takes the snap. Rolling right, throwing in goal. Caught. Touchdown!
Hi, I'm Roy Green. KMOX Radio brings you exclusive Cardinal football action. Tune in each Sunday as Bill Wilkerson and Zip Rozeppa bring you all the play-by-play. Only on the sports voice of America, KMOX Radio.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
Discover one of St. Louis's greatest treasures, St. Louis Public Library's Central Library. Designed by world-renowned architect Cass Gilbert and completed in 1912, this Beaux Arts masterpiece blends stunning historic details with modern design after a $70 million award-winning renovation. Experience the grandeur for yourself. Free docent-led tours are available Mondays at 11 and 12:30 and Saturdays at 11 noon and 1 p.m. Visit online at slpl.org to learn more. St. Louis Public Library.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead. On your terms, text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hi, this is Ron Jacober. 100 years. That's how many years KMOX has been the voice of St. Louis. Congratulations to the Mighty Mocs.
Welcome back, DGS. So I asked guys if they even want to address this guy, but we said, okay. Christian Earl online says, okay, so what are you going to do about everything you're complaining about? Because all this entire show does is bemoan modern politics and then remain squishy middlemen who want moderate politics. Moderate politics is what got us here in the first place. Bush, McCain, Obama, etc. Well, Christian, to answer your first question, we're doing what we're doing now. We are using our voice in a way that puts us at risk as broadcasters. And if you don't understand what that means, go research it. I don't have time to educate you on who has been taken down by Trumpers. Secondly, this show is made up of 16 segments. You go back and you can podcast them and you can research them. And we never, other than having guests in, and anytime we have guests in, Andrew can vouch for this because he books them, they're either a Republican and a Democrat, or if they're by themselves, we have someone from the other side on later in that week. We do maybe 1-2 segments a day about any kind of politics. So you're just wrong. So you don't know what you're talking about. That's the entire show. Secondly, I'm an absolutely proud moderate. I think if you understood your American history, you'd realize that moderates have been what kept this country going for the past 250 years. That extremism has never worked and has led to some horrible, horrible things. So I don't know which extreme you're on, but yeah, you don't fit in. We don't fit together.
I'm pretty sure Christian is on the right. He comments a lot. Look, Christian, I'm not going to really address the moderate politics thing because I don't ever really call for moderate politics necessarily. To me, the ICE conversation and the S-hole countries conversation, that's not necessarily politics. It comes down to I would like other human beings to be treated with respect. I don't think there's anything like inherently political one way or the other in saying that. But yeah, like talking about how we don't want American citizens wrongfully detained. I don't think that's like, oh, you're just in the middle. Like, no, I'm going to call out when I see something horrible happening to a fellow American citizen or even people who aren't American citizens. I don't agree with the way they're being treated. So, yeah, I'm going to use my microphone and occasionally say something about it. Yeah. I don't think that moderate politics got us to the president calling countries asshole. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Us being moderate led to Donald Trump saying that
January
repeatedly.
6th.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Moderate politics is why we had such a long run of good stability. That's why it was so stable from, post-Vietnam era, get past Nixon. It was pretty stable from, let's call it the end of Carter, because Carter wasn't a bad guy, but it was a rough presidency. But like from Reagan on, it's been moderate politics for them. And again, moderate changes. At the time, it might not have felt moderate, but the idea of moderate changes. But the stability from 1980 until 2016 was because you had moderate politics where you can do things that help people of all kinds of persuasions rather than each side trying to stamp the other out.
This is one of the most important Cardinals off seasons ever as the club heads into a new era under President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom, and the Countdown to Opening Day show is here for you. Which players will be back? Who will be traded? And what new names will be joining the roster? Which prospects are ready to take a big step? Join Mike Claiborne and me, Matt Pauley, and our many guests as we take you from the hot stove all the way through spring training. Catch the Cardinals Countdown to Opening Day show every Thursday night from 6 to 8 on the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is Amy Mark Scores, chair of this year's Red Kettle campaign. Christmas reminds us of the challenges faced by our neighbors in need, basic needs we sometimes take for granted. When you give with joy to the Salvation Army, you transform lives. You put food on the table and provide warm beds. You give veterans and seniors purpose. You help a child experience the joy of Christmas. And 90 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to critical social services. Bring joy to the world today. Visit salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores.
Let's go to Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Well, we have welcomed the northwest flow again, and it's bringing its big brother for the weekend. Mostly cloudy skies, a couple of snow flurries from time to time. 35 for the high today. Tonight, clouds, some snow flurries from time to time. 29. Friday, partly sunny and 40. Friday night, clouds and cold, 21. Saturday, clouds, a little light snow and snow flurries around on Saturday, 28. Saturday night, we start to clear out and we go down to 4 degrees Saturday night. Sunday, sunny and very cold, 16 for the high. Sunday night, clear and 8 warmer for much of next week. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income. It can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX. the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Saturday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they take on San Francisco. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Thank you to everybody who has gone to Bissinger's or Bissingers.com to buy the Dave's Faves collection of 7 chocolate truffles. They're $20. They'll ship them to you. There's some shipping involved. I went online and bought 5 of them today myself for stocking stuffers and gifts for friends and clients and things like that. Every penny goes to Operation Food Search, so there'll be thousands of dollars from Bissinger's that'll be put into the till on next Friday's live show. Between now and Christmas, please get yourself to Hardee's. Hardee's is our primary sponsor. They're our biggest generator of income on Operation Food Search. We appreciate you guys going to Hardee's, giving $1, $5, $10, $50, whatever you can afford. It all goes to Operation Food Search. And again, every time I say it, I get a little misty. You guys know me well. I'm Scottish. I'm a crier. But 3,200 kids, 3,200 children who otherwise would go without food over the weekend. Every year, 3,200 kids are well fed over the weekend, along with their siblings. Even if they have 10 siblings at home, they pack enough backpacks for everyone in the family because of the DGS alone. Tons of other corporations and outlets support Operation Food Search, but that's what you guys do every year. So if you can help out, we appreciate it. We'll see you at the Hardee's on Mid Rivers Mall Drive a week from tomorrow, Friday the 19th. Everyone to wheels. And by the way, condolences.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you've talked about your uncle a lot.
Yeah. So not yesterday, but the night before. I don't remember if I don't think he was, but he's close to the oldest of my dad's generation. But my uncle passed away a couple nights ago. Not totally unexpected, but a little fast at the end. Like it wasn't like we know this is going to happen, but.
And he was your guy.
He was 86. What's that? Oh, that's my guy. My middle name is after him. That's my Uncle John. So my middle name is after him. And he was my high school teacher. You know, he's what got me into French. He was my French instructor and all of that. So
that's the only thing I fault him for.
And I can tell you this, man. You will not find a better person to show an example of how anybody should be. Like always the happiest guy in the room, always looking out for everyone else. And it'll be interesting because, you know, he's a legend at my high school. He went to my high school back in the 50s, so he was a student there. So his connection to the school was 70 plus years.
He flew the Blue Angel.
Yeah. But he started the ski team there. He did all kinds of stuff. I mean, he is
It's a great life.
He is a guy that so there will be a memorial next week, and part of it's going to be at my high school. It's going to be kind of a viewing and a get together. There will probably be 1,000 people there. Probably more than that. And most of them will have either been baptized by my uncle, married by my uncle, or married by him. I mean, like everybody that you know knows him. I mean, I can't even tell you how many messages I got from high school friends and people that knew him.
That's
cool. A great guy, man. And and you talk about someone that had it good and lived a good life. That was him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to talk about a couple financial things. I want to say they're not political, but everything's political. Everyone can make it political. But I saw a story last night, and I want to tell you about the story, but it's not the actual story that dumbfounded me. The story is that there's this couple that have a child who looks about 7 or 8 who has a rare disease, and he's dying. He's got maybe 6, 8 months. And there's this drug they found out about that can help. But the insurance denied it because they said that the FDA hasn't said that it's safe and secure and all. And the story was they actually have, and the insurance company was fibbing. But what got me is, anyone want to guess how much this drug is per year? It's $800,000.
I was going to say to manufacture or to
buy it.
To buy, yeah. Because those are two very different numbers.
$800,000 a year for medicine. I don't care what it is. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you even make? You know what I mean? Like, that's nuts. Almost $1 million a year for a drug, for liquid. And I look, I don't own a drug company, but I get they have expenses and research and development and marketing, all that. But my Lord, that is crazy.
Yeah, and most cancer medicines cost something close to that.
Here's my other question, and it's a real question. Evidently, Trump is going to carve out $12 billion from the tariffs and spread it out to American farmers because they're hurting so bad. So here's my question. Why do farmers need our help? Ever. Like, you choose a profession, you do your profession, and you take the profits, and you pay for your family, and you put something away for retirement. That's what I'm doing. That's what you're doing. I assume that's what farmers are doing. But going back to like the 70s, because I come from farmers, and some of my cousins are still active farmers. And I remember my dad complaining because my uncle was being paid by the government to not plant crops and, subsidies and Jimmy Carter and all that stuff. But my basic question is, like, if you can't make a living being a farmer, what's wrong? There's something wrong. Now, I may not understand what it is, and I don't understand what it is, but we should figure out what that is. If for decades farmers haven't been able to make a living, and then we should say, can we fix this? How should we fix this? But like with the tariffs, they clearly hurt the farmers. So if the farmers were already not great and they haven't been good for decades and they've needed help and subsidies all the way along, and then you hit them with the tariffs and they're hurt so bad that now you're going to carve off $12 billion. Like, am I the only one that looks at this and goes, we need to solve this problem?
I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice if there was a broader problem or a broader fix to that problem you're referring to. The current one is entirely about the tariffs, and a lot of those farmers are soybean farmers because in response to the tariffs, China was like, "Fine, we're not buying your soybeans anymore." And now all those people had crops and they had nobody to sell them to. And then, if I'm not mistaken, China started getting their soybeans from another country. So now they're going to be buying them again from us, but not at the levels that they were before, which is why you need the $12 billion. But even that doesn't make up the difference in what the farmers have lost. And this idea that we're going to take this tariffs, like, oh, we're going to just take this from the tariffs. That's our money. We are paying for that. That might as well be tax money because the money is paid by the companies in the U.S. that are importing products. So that whatever you've pulled in quote, tariff revenue has been either an American company taking a loss and eating it or them passing the cost on to us. It's one of those two. That's it. That's how it works. No matter how many times people deny it, that's how it works.
Go ahead, Rach. I cut you off.
No, I mean, Wheels explained what I wanted to say initially. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know all of the ins and outs of this conversation. I do know that I want farmers in the United States, period, the end. I don't want to rely on other countries 100% for our food source. I mean, I think this is a very important industry to protect. So I don't really have right. I don't really have a problem with they're stepping in and bailing them out. It's like we need these guys. Like this is a noble thing to protect, in my opinion.
But don't you wonder why we have to? I do. I mean, I wonder why someone can't make a living as a farmer.
Well,
I mean, the tariffs are the reason why, as Wheels just said, the reason why this bailout is happening is because they're losing, many of them, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of profits because of those tariffs.
It's also that a lot of farming competition comes from really big agri companies. And they can do things at prices that a family farm probably can't do. So, I mean, I think there's that competition, even within the United States. And there are all kinds of different types of rules, and I don't know them all. I've only seen a couple of examples of farmers when you buy a certain kind of seed. Well, you have to buy that seed, and you can't buy from anybody else because you're signing a contract, and it's really expensive. And, oh, yeah, look, this is seed, by the way, that doesn't produce its own seed. So you got to keep buying seed from us again year after year because it's engineered not to produce its own seeds like most plants do. So it's certainly a lot of different things, costs of equipment. have gone up because of tariffs. And then you're talking about losing price and opening up the market to other countries where China was buying a lot from you. There's just a lot of levels to it going bad. And there's no incentive to fix anything. It's just, we'll just tape over this problem and then we'll patch over that problem. It's kind of what we did with bailing out various companies for all these different reasons over the years. Bailing out the airlines, bailing out the car makers. Well, you know, I mean, this is what we do. Apparently, we create problems and then we bail people out. We had to bail out the banks because the banks were engaging in behaviors that they knew were bad. They knew were risky, but they were making money off it. And then it ended up costing how many people their homes? How many people lost everything because they were upside down in their mortgages, the mortgages they probably should never have been approved for? You know, I mean, we spent a lot of time patching up problems and not enough time solving problems in advance. Because what do all of these things have in common? Somebody with money, somebody in power wants it that way for some reason. Whatever, whether it's tariffs, whether it's, you know, the housing collapse that happened, 19 years ago, when we had the big scandals on Wall Street where everybody's hedging against them, and you know they're making money by betting against Americans, right? They're making money by betting on Americans defaulting on mortgages. Why is that okay? Why are we incentivizing failure? Why are we incentivizing people to lose everything?
So JR in the stream points out it's called monopsony, and that's a situation where there's only one buyer for a product. I'm assuming in this case it's China. And China has been preparing for a situation like the tariff situation for a while. So ultimately, we didn't really, from what I understand, we didn't really hurt China that bad. Like, we've only really hurt ourselves when it comes to this situation with these tariffs.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear the good side of tariffs. I think we've taken in $200 billion. That's real money.
Of Americans' money.
Of Americans' money.
Yeah.
Yes, they have taxed us for $200 billion. I don't like that at all. But, okay, you did that. Now what? Is it just in the checking account? And you can just pay for whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to hurt us all that bad, show us why this inoculation is going to lead to something good.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Red Kingdom is back at FanDuel Sports Network Live in Ballpark Village. See every game on the largest screen in town. Don't forget about the $25 buckets, $5 cocktails, and the best tailgate food around. Grab your friends along with KMOX and huddle up for the games at the best watch party in town. If you can't make it, but don't want to miss a down, listen to the Chiefs on KMOX or KMOX on the Odyssey app. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-999-3339. That's 800-999-3339. Again, that's 800-999-3339.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Thanks for your input. Good discussions here during this hour. I have one more statistic for you that kind of took my breath away. And this isn't an American thing, it's an Earth thing. But the 0.0001 percenters, okay? Not 1%ers. 0.001 percenters, which is 60,000 humans on the planet Earth, have more money and resources than the poorest 50% on Earth, which are billions. So 60,000 people have more resources than half the Earth, basically.
Well, you wonder why there are problems.
I mean, man.
There's only so much of everything to go around, right? No matter what it is, there's only so much, and nothing is infinite.
I think as Americans, I fall into this category. I think we just don't get how poor the Earth is.
Oh, yeah, so much of it, yeah. Yeah, we see poor here, but and that's not to say that there isn't extreme poverty in the U.S., because there is. But it's in much larger quantities in other places. And in some cases, literally right across a wall from the richest people in that place. Wild, isn't it?
Really is. Yeah. On a more happy note, kind of, because it's kind of about death. I have a cherry pie at my house. You know, I love cherry pie. Trying to be reasonable with it. I wanted a piece last night, but I'm like, no, you're going to wait. And then I saw that video. Have you guys seen the video of the airplane landing on the top of the car?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, I'm going to have that pie.
Yeah. Yep. You never know.
And I did.
You never know.
You got to see this. This guy is just filming, going down the highway, talking to his buddy, and Cessna, I think, just comes overhead and literally lands on top of the car in front of them.
Oh, my goodness.
And the guy in the car that got landed on was taken to the hospital with non-serious injuries. The guys in the plane didn't have a scratch.
It's pretty lucky.
Very lucky.
That could be a whole lot worse.
Mm-hmm. He's got to eat your pie.
That's the lesson for today. Don't wait. You should eat that pie. Oh, my Lord.
Speaking of...
That is crazy video.
Speaking of death, a new study just came out. I don't sleep well, but I'm in bed 8 hours a night regardless. And I've had friends over the years who've always said, like, I need 3 hours of sleep. And I'll be honest with you, the same way that I used to wear sandals until Thanksgiving because I thought it made me look cool, I always thought, like, man, I wish I were like that guy. I thought there was something cool about people who are like, I need 3 hours and that's all I need. And I'm like, oh, my God, you're my better. But a new study shows that if you get less than 7 hours a night consistently, It doesn't matter how you feel or what you want. It leads to early death.
And also just cognitive issues and focus issues, whether you can pretend. It's funny that you mentioned that because I just saw a tweet earlier that I had bookmarked, which is Howard Lutnick talking about how little he sleeps. He's like, I sleep 5 hours a night. The president sleeps 4 hours at night, and he's working all the time. It's the most impressive thing. Why is it impressive if someone only sleeps 4 hours? What the hell are you doing for 18 hours or 20 hours? What are you doing? Other than watching TV news and tweeting about it. And I don't mean just these guys. I mean, anybody. Like, you are not some kind of special genetic mutation that doesn't need sleep. Right? I mean, like, as you just pointed out, we all know the science. The body needs sleep. And you can say that I'm getting more out of it, but it's taking a toll in some way. You're going to be slow on the uptake on something. You're going to have long-term health problems or whatever. And yet somehow this is glorified. Like, look at me. I only need 5 hours a night. Yeah, you need more. You're just sacrificing it because you think it makes you seem badass.
I bought into it. I thought they were badass.
Well, I mean, how much of culture, especially when we were growing up, was like, this guy never turns it off. He works all the time, and that's why he gets ahead. Well, yeah, for some people, but for other people, you're just spinning your wheels.
Joel on the stream says, working that many hours says to me that you are generally ineffective in your work.
Good call.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal.
See representative for warranty details.
Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app now. Use code RADIOMO. Place your first bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Open to new users in Missouri who are 21 or older. First wager after registration must qualify and win. And bonus bets expire 30 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promotions or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's cloudy and 36 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, a Senate vote today all but assures millions of Americans will be paying higher health insurance premiums at the start of the year. A story from Christopher Cruz.
The Senate rejected a Democratic bill that would have extended COVID-19-era Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years. A Republican alternative that would have created new health savings accounts for Americans to use to help pay premiums also failed. The issue has divided the Senate and led to the 6-week-long government shutdown in October and November.
Police say now former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore is expected to be arraigned on criminal charges tomorrow. He was arrested last night and remains in a county jail. The university says Moore was fired Wednesday for having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Later, police say there was a domestic incident involving an assault. There's been a settlement in a closely watched auto racing antitrust case. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula.
The deal involves NASCAR and 2 race teams, including one co-owned by basketball great Michael Jordan. The lawsuit claimed NASCAR operates as a monopoly, with the 2 teams refusing to sign agreements, so-called charters, that guarantee a spot in races and payouts.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com.
We've had to make the god-awful choice to close the doors.
That's Jeff Fitter, owner of Super Smokers Barbecue in Eureka. Their last day will be Sunday. He says it's been a really hard year with meat prices and labor costs way up, not to mention electricity, gas, and water.
As a restaurant, as a service provider, you can only charge so much before people either A, can't afford to come, or B, won't come because the costs are too high. It's not a good value proposition for them.
Super Smokers first opened in 1996. Fitter has owned it since 2017. 150 Years of Forest Park is the subject of a new exhibit that opens this weekend at the Missouri History Museum. Yours Forever, Forest Park at 150, shares the history of the park's adaptation over the years, big moments like the River to Pear, erasure of the park's indigenous mounds, and the World's Fair, of course, the May tornado recently that took out thousands of trees. Your weather forecast is sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
A cold afternoon with plenty of clouds and a high of 36. There'll be some snow that'll pass north and east of the city late this afternoon into the first part of tonight. Remaining cloudy overnight, though 31. Mostly cloudy and cold again tomorrow, the high 38. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's 37 in St. Peter's. We have 36 in Florissant, 36 cloudy skies downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
I have no idea what that song is.
I thought this is what you requested.
What is it?
This, okay, this is I Wish It Would Rain. And what you wrote down, this is what I see that you wrote down. Every day I wish the book Elvis.
Right.
So but it's Elvis Costello.
Every day I write the book.
I write the book.
Yes.
I write the book.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I apologize.
Well, I think we all know whose fault this is. You can show them my writing on the stream if you'd like to.
Sometimes I'm doing my best over here.
Yeah. Normally you only see this kind of writing on a ransom note. So, Attorney Brad Young joins us. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, before we get into the stories that you sent over to Andrew, we started the show with a story about the 20-year-old United States citizen in Minneapolis who was physically tackled and arrested by ICE, even though he was a full U.S. citizen and had his passport in his pocket. Have you seen this story?
I've seen the headline. I'm vaguely familiar with it.
Yeah, they said that the reason that he was detained is because he, quote, looked Somali. Just wanted to get your gut reaction on that.
Well, there's always the situation where someone can be arrested improperly. In this instance, I think we've talked about this before on your show in the past, that within like 100 miles of the border, ICE has a greater leeway to arrest or stop people who might look a certain way because you're within close proximity to the border. However, this happened in Minneapolis, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So up there, the question is going to be, is it 100 miles from the Canadian border? And I don't know if you're 100 miles from the Canadian border, maybe you can stop someone who looks Canadian. I don't even know what that means, right? But certainly Somalis wouldn't be associated with Canada. So there's the potential for a false arrest here, unless contextually there was, for example, if ICE had a tip that there were illegal Somalis all working in a certain factory, and you see a bunch of people who look like Somalis running from the factory, and you detain somebody, even if they're a U.S. citizen, that probably would not rise to the level of a wrongful arrest or a wrongful stop. If you just stop them on the street corner and say, you look different, show me your papers, that does not fly constitutionally.
So the first story, a local story, I think, panhandling fight moves to Des Peres. Our First Amendment rights at stake.
Well, I love this story because I've got my own little niche theory that the courts haven't followed yet. But here's the issue, and we've seen this. There was a big issue a couple years ago where a gentleman was arrested for panhandling. Beavis Schock represented him. I know Beavis. I've had lots of conversations with Beavis about this, and he took it to trial on First Amendment grounds, and he got an award of about $150,000 for this gentleman. Even after this gentleman was given $150,000 in damages for being arrested for panhandling, he said, "That's my job, is panhandling," even though he got a six-figure payout from St. Louis County. So now he's been arrested again for Des Peres. All these same issues are in play here, but the statutes have slightly changed, not to forbid panhandling, but to forbid people from walking out in the streets or near the streets due to safety concerns. And so he's been arrested for that, and we're starting this whole process over again about whether that is or is not illegal.
Your thoughts?
Well, I had this theory, and I won't dive too deeply into the weeds, but Dave, you remember in law school when you studied First Amendment that commercial speech has a lower standard of protection. For example, all cigarettes, you cannot advertise cigarettes on television. The cigarette companies challenged it, saying, you're banning our free speech. And the Supreme Court held, no, that's commercial speech. So there's a lower standard of care for commercial speech. I think what this guy's doing is commercial speech, right? He's not out there telling people about Jesus. He's not out there politicking for or against a politician. Those areas, religion and politics, have the highest degree of protection. He's out there earning his living. So I don't see why you cannot restrict speech when it's commercial speech, because clearly this gentleman is saying, this is my job. I panhandle for a living. And at that point, it's no different than if he's carrying a banner for T-Mobile or dressed up like the Statue of Liberty selling, tax services. It's commercial speech, and I think that there can be limits on commercial speech.
Yeah, I mean, I find that convincing. I would also say personally that even if it's not commercial speech, I would think that not only the person's safety, but my safety, because if I'm driving down a road where I reasonably believe no one's going to be on it. The other night I was going down Forest Park Parkway and Skinker, and it always backs up right there, as you know. And there were people on the left side of the cars, on the right side of the cars, and in the middle. And just, we've all seen it, and just walking down. And I don't think that your right to panhandle is superior to my right to not hit you and have my whole life changed.
Yeah, exactly. And, this is always framed as a First Amendment issue, which in part it is, but it's also a health and safety issue, for, as you mentioned, for everyone involved. But at the end of the day, I also like my theory. Of course, who doesn't like their own theories, right? But I like my theory that it's commercial speech. It's no different than if you're advertising for a company. And if they were advertising for a company, you could say there's time, place, and manner restrictions on that advertisement. And I think this is the same thing. And I'm hoping that the courts will at least view the health and safety concerns, will view the commercial speech concerns, and not just say, this is First Amendment, done, award this gentleman another six-figure settlement.
Thoughts, guys?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because you can't just decide to conduct business somewhere, right? I mean, I can't just set up on a street corner and say, I'm selling T-shirts here now. I have to get permission, don't I? Don't I have to get,
can't.
Depending on the city's ordinances or whatever. I mean, I can't just do that. I have to establish that I'm allowed to do that in that space.
Sure. And I think a better example is if you went out on the street with a bullhorn at 2:00 in the morning saying, buy Kevin Wheeler supplements to make you as strong as I am. And you're doing that at 3:00 in the morning. You're going to the Gray Bar Motel if you do that. All right. And you could try to sell your supplements, to the inmates. But the point being is that there are restrictions allowed, particularly on commercial speech. And I just don't see how that's overly burdensome here.
U.S. Supreme Court wrestles with death row inmate intellectual disability ruling.
Yeah, there's an issue in this country about how does death row apply to someone who might be intellectually disabled? And what's interesting here is that the courts struggle with, does it become cruel and unusual punishment if you put someone on death row and execute them, and they just don't even have the intellectual ability to understand what they did. You remember the old reasonable person test, right? Does that person really understand what they did? And if they do or don't, can you put them to death if they don't understand what they did? So courts have used this IQ of like 70 as the cutoff. If someone has an IQ below 70, generally speaking, courts have said, they don't have the intellectual capacity. This gentleman in this case had 4 or 5 IQ tests, all in the low to upper 70s. But the question is that 70, can that be like a hard and fast rule? So the courts are once again going to grapple with what does it mean to have cruel and unusual punishment as it applies to someone who may be intellectually challenged.
Brad, wouldn't they, if they do hold in favor of the defendant, wouldn't that just be another way of saying that they missed that at the beginning? Because if someone truly can't appreciate the nature of their crime because of an intellectual disability, how is that different from a successful insanity plea?
Well, that's a great question. I do see those two things as being different. I mean, you can understand that the law exists and I broke the law, but you may not have the intellectual capacity to understand why am I getting put to death for this? Because literally speaking, death is the ultimate punishment, right? Someone can be incarcerated. You can let them go later, but once they're dead, they're dead. So I think there's a different standard between understanding that I broke the law and understanding that I'm going to be put to death because of it. So it's not so much that he's not guilty, but just that the state cannot exercise the ultimate punishment in putting him to death if he doesn't really understand why he's being put to death.
Okay, good question, better answer. What about this case? I don't have it on the sheet in front of me that Andrew gave me about what you were prepared to talk about, but this case, he said that you have an opinion on about the Is it the double murder? Is that the one you're talking about, Andrew, from the AI thing?
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not certain.
Here's exactly
that I sent you.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me. I can ask myself a question.
Perfect.
It's not a problem. I can handle both being the interviewer and the interviewee. I can do that. But the issue here is that a lawsuit's been filed against ChatGPT and Microsoft because apparently a guy committed suicide after he started putting in things in ChatGPT and through, I believe, Microsoft Copilot. But he was asking it questions, these very conspiratorial type things. And there's really no evidence that ChatGPT said, go out and kill yourself. But it fostered this guy's conspiratorial beliefs. And so as a result of those, he killed himself. So the family this week filed a wrongful death lawsuit in California against ChatGPT and Microsoft, stating that they knew or should have known what their product was doing. And the reason why I think this is so interesting, not just because it's different, but legally speaking, I mean, there's a big issue here because this case tests whether courts treat AI as a product, which is subject to define or design defects, whether it's a product, or is it speech? Is it covered under First Amendment speech if an AI generates text? How do we handle this? Courts have not wrestled with this issue until now about whether it's a product or whether it's truly free speech. And then how do we assign or determine whether a company has liability for this? This is completely breaking new ground.
Yeah, there's an even newer case, Brad, you might want to look at where a fairly young person filed a lawsuit against, I think it's ChatGPT, because his dad suffered from some mental problems and became convinced that the dad's mom, so this kid's grandma, was the cause of all of his problems. And they have all the ChatGPT conversations, and evidently ChatGPT agreed with him that his mom was the problem and encouraged him to do something about it. So he killed her and then killed himself. And so now another lawsuit has been filed.
Right. And all these cases just hinge on this issue of how do we treat AI? What is it? Is it a product? Is it speech? I've often said that the courts and our legal system does a terrible job because it cannot adapt as quickly as technology adapts. And this is the prime example of that.
This seems like an easy answer with no legal background whatsoever. How can it be free speech if whatever's putting it out there is not a sentient being? It can't.
Well,
it's literally just a search engine at this point. That's all it is. It hasn't reached the point of self-awareness. It hasn't reached, the singularity that we've all been talking about. So it's just an advanced search engine is all it is.
Well, let me put it in these terms. I'm not saying you're wrong, Wheels, but let me give you something to consider. From a legal perspective, when corporations donate money, the donation of money is considered free speech, even though there are no words that are being used. The burning of a flag is considered symbolic speech. So speech doesn't always have to be actual spoken words.
No, but it comes from a human.
Well, not in the course of a corporation.
Well,
it comes
humans
from
are
a
choosing
corporate entity.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
But it's being done. Yeah, but it's being done via a corporation. And the corporation could have a computer that says, if you want to use this money to donate to politicians to increase our business prospects, donate money to this politician. Then it would still be coming from a computer and paid through a corporation, but it would still be considered free speech. So the idea of what speech is really nebulous even before AI. And now I think it's even more nebulous.
Yeah. A non-expert opinion, the whole corporations are humans thing is stupid. It makes no sense because it's already run by multiple human beings. Like, why are we saying that their actions together count a new human? It's the most ridiculous logic I've ever heard. Yet I know it is the standard. I understand that it is, but it feels like it's just an excuse to give breaks to big companies so they don't have to take personal responsibility for anything they choose to do.
It's not just big companies, it's also labor unions who use that to their advantage as well. So it's not just big corporations, but labor unions and political action committees and all kinds of situations use that loophole.
So all these things made up by people. staffed by people and run by people have to be treated as separate people, which is the dumbest thing.
Brad, how glad are you that Wheeler's not our law school professor?
Well, you don't fail because I know nothing.
Well, I will tell you what, the intellectually fun about law school was getting these bizarre fact questions, and then you got to apply the law and make reason from it. And I think Wheeler would be great at coming up with bizarre fact patterns for discussion.
All right, man, we appreciate it. That is attorney Brad Young. You can hear Brad on KMOX 97.1. I'm sure during my couple of weeks off in the holidays, he'll be in here doing some fill-in. Thank you, Brad.
My pleasure, guys.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina. Your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
Before he became a national icon, Harry Carey electrified St. Louis baseball on KMOX. With boundless energy, raw emotion, and his signature Holy Cow, Carey brought Cardinals baseball to life for millions across the Midwest.
Slow ball swung on, a drive, back to left. Way back is Brock, he jumps. Holy cow, did he make the catch or not? Yeah, he's got the ball. The game is over.
The power of KMOX's signal paired with Harry's unforgettable personality helped create one of the strongest team broadcaster bonds in sports.
This is Harry Carey with Jack Buck and Jerry Gross.
His bold, candid style made him one of America's most colorful broadcasters and a defining voice in the early era of KMOX sports. Harry Carey, a KMOX pioneer.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Once again this year, Christmas meets the Beatles. You're invited to Let It Be Christmas, a rock opera that tells the Christmas story entirely with classic Beatles songs. It's a St. Louis holiday tradition, now in its 16th season. Yes, here comes the fun. Performances are December 21 and 22 at the beautiful Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Let It Be Christmas, the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Tickets available now at MetroTix or the K-Pack box office.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcast.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
This is Senator Eric Schmidt congratulating KMOX and its 50,000 red hot watts on 100 years on the air in St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS 223. Man, Andrew and I just had a weird moment.
What happened?
So remember when Brad was on, and I kind of awkwardly turned to Andrew and I'm like, hey, that AI story that you said that Brad had something on? He's like, I got nothing. So I went into his office and I'm like, okay, this is not about your job performance. This is about my mental health. Because I absolutely remember an hour ago him bringing all my stuff in, handing me a piece of paper and saying, oh, and Brad Young has an opinion on that AI case. Okay. And that's why I turned to you and said, like, hey, is this the case you're talking about? And evidently that just didn't happen. Just didn't happen. No.
I'm questioning myself too because I'm like, I don't remember it happening. But
No,
that doesn't mean
I
it
believe
doesn't.
you. That's why I'm scared. God, this whole Alzheimer's thing sucks. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're my age and your family tends to get Alzheimer's about 10 years from now, and you have the genetic marker. All you can do is be as healthy as you can and walk and blah and all that kind of stuff. But things like that, if I didn't have all this, I just go like, that's weird. But now when that happens, I'm like, here we go. Here we go.
It's like,
roller coasters going up the hill. Oh, Wheels, we had the same story about fire. You take it.
Oh, yeah. So you and I both love this. I don't know. Sometimes I think Rach and Andrew think we're nerds, but that's okay. But the new discovery about Neanderthals shows that they knew how to use tools to make fire 400,000 years ago.
And we previously thought it was 50,000.
Yeah, that's a pretty big change. First of all, it's not Homo sapiens, it's Neanderthals. And secondly, yeah, it's just 8 times further into the past than we thought it was. It's a big difference. They apparently they were, I forget the exact thing, but it was a flint stone and then some other metallic type object, and they were just creating spark and they were starting fires. And they found evidence of the fires in the chemical residue at some of these finds.
500,000 or 400,000 years ago.
400,000 years ago. And we thought it was 50,000 years ago.
And see, here's the thing. I'm a believer in science.
Well, science discovered this.
Yes, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that science was obviously wrong, so it would give people an opportunity to go like, see, you're a god of science, and it was off by, a factor of 10 or whatever it is. Yeah, but it corrected itself.
That's right, because people keep looking.
That's what it does. You keep looking at everyone's results. You try to replicate them. If you can, you go, well, I guess that's true.
Or you just find a new thing.
Yeah.
This was the case. They just found a new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that anybody was wrong before. It was just the oldest example that we had showed 50,000 years. Well, now we have an example that shows 400,000 years. It's just like when we discover things in space. We haven't seen this before. We haven't seen a planet in the Goldilocks belt orbiting 2 suns. Well, now we have.
True.
And we learn those things because we can explore more because we have the ability to do it.
Joel on the stream was saying he was trying to figure out where to go to buy Dave's Faves in person. I think they're at a couple of Bissinger's locations, but for sure they're going to be at 5025 Pattinson Avenue on the Hill.
Yeah.
So check them out there.
Highly recommend you go to. I haven't been to the other stores of theirs, but that store is gorgeous. The staff is incredible. And they have a great selection of everything that you could ever possibly
But
want.
Dan did say that he personally delivered some to Frontenac and the Galleria.
Excellent.
Those could be gone because I think we were pretty close to sold out.
Mm-hmm.
There might be 50 boxes left or something like that. But if you want that, because I'm not sure we're going to do another run, this could be it.
Chris and Amy standing up for the Lou.
We had a texter suggest that we use some of the Rams money to buy a high-rise in Singapore and let
then
that
let it
thing
go
ride.
and load it up with asbestos and
just let
mold.
that sit there. See how they feel about it.
That's, let's not be vindictive.
No, let's be really screw Singapore if they're going to do this to us.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, taking receipts. Weekdays at 9 on KMOX.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
It's time for Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Well, we have welcomed the northwest flow again, and it's bringing its big brother for the weekend. Mostly cloudy skies, a couple of snow flurries from time to time. 35 for the high today. Tonight, clouds, some snow flurries from time to time. 29. Friday, partly sunny and 40. Friday night, clouds and cold, 21. Saturday, clouds, a little light snow and snow flurries around on Saturday, 28. Saturday night, we start to clear out and we go down to 4 degrees Saturday night. Sunday, sunny and very cold, 16 for the high. Sunday night, clear and 8 warmer for much of next week. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
From our family at Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation to yours. Happy holidays.
You want to hurry this up, Mark? I'm freezing my baguettes off.
Relax, Grandpa. Air Comfort Service is on their way. Aubrey, you're not doing anything. You want to let me know when they get here?
Honey, her eyes are frozen shut. Plus,
avoid a 5-alarm emergency with an HVAC system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Learn more at aircomfortservice.com.
All right, if you haven't heard by now, you probably just haven't heard me, but FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and boy, they've done some great offers to get you rolling, and they've got one going right now that's really tough to beat, and that is if you're a new customer. So go sign up today, create your account, make your initial deposit, and make a $5 bet. New customer can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets whether you win or lose. So pretty simple process there. You just go through the sign up. I've used the FanDuel Sportsbook app for a long time. I believe I got it when it launched initially. Even though I couldn't play here in Missouri, I travel enough to places where gambling had already been legal where I could use it. I just couldn't use it at home. Well, now we can use this right here in Missouri, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, eventually baseball, doesn't matter. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, super easy to use. So you can download the FanDuel app today to get started. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri, by the way, to join in and find out a bit more about the offers that are out there for you, because here in Missouri now, it's time to play our game with FanDuel. 21 and older and present in Missouri to play gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Sunday, the Chiefs are entertaining the Chargers at Arrowhead.
Sightman Cancer Center game time, 11 a.m. Sightman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Chargers. Hear the game here on your home for Chiefs football. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS and KMOX 234. Paul's asking, how is Dave Murray's wife, Janice? We don't know exactly. We know that she's okay, and we know that Dave is on the show an hour from now, literally, and we'll get a full update then. It's my understanding that her surgery is still scheduled for tomorrow. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, yesterday at about, well, not at about, I looked at it, it was exactly 3:36. But you may never hear this sound because Andrew took it out of the podcast because it was just so disturbing. But if you're listening at that time, Dave was on the stream, as he always is, and he was giving us an update on Janice. And he said that 2 weeks ago, she fell and shattered her elbow, which we knew. She had a really serious surgery with pins and plates and rods and stuff. And then I think Sunday she fell again, and she fell on the same elbow, and she re-shattered it. Horrible. So she has surgery tomorrow to repair that. And Dave was literally in the middle of telling us this. And Dave does the stream from a office in his home, and you hear Janice scream twice, just a terrible scream. And I was just talking to our boss Steve about this before I walked in. And he said it was so weird because it didn't sound real. It didn't sound like a real person screaming. It almost sounded like someone faking screaming. And Dave goes, she's fallen again. I have to go. And he just disappears from the stream. And all we know is that she fell down the stairs. So we'll get an update from Dave. And then Rage, Steve was just, I don't know who he was making fun of. Because sometimes with Steve, you don't know who he's ripping on. But he was talking about you and me and how we reacted differently, and he was laughing. He's like, yeah, you were like, hey, let's take a break because that was so weird. And Rachel's like, no, we have to make the money. Like, we have to.
Well, I mean, it was 3:36, and that's just really early.
Yeah.
And it's like, we should probably just do headlines, get some headlines in. Yeah, I actually texted Andrew after that. I'm like, man, should we have just gone to break? Was that the right thing to do? But
I don't know that there's a right way.
No, there isn't.
Unfortunately, I do think that we did the right thing. Like, it feels weird, but we did what we had to do. We did the right thing.
I didn't have words.
Yeah. It was definitely hard, though, and poor Rachel was like, so here's what's in the news today.
No, there's
We're
no
like,
easy.
okay, thank you, Rachel.
That's just one of those things that no matter what you do, it's going to feel wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's not a normal thing. It's not a normal thing that you end up with.
Man, Rach and I had a burger today.
Yeah, you did.
I was a little envious of the
I could
burger.
tell.
You guys have no way of knowing this, but I needed a good burger for dinner last night, and I had one. I went to Johnson's Corner in Alton, and I had a good burger.
Never been there.
It's great. It's awesome. It's a wonderful restaurant. So I had a good burger last night, but then this morning I was like, I need another good burger as fast as possible. And then I saw you guys as I was like,
I woke up needing a burger, and I told her I need a burger, and she's like, I need a burger too. So we split a smash burger from Chris's at the Docket downtown.
It's so good there.
It is one of my favorite burgers.
It's such a good burger.
So good.
It's yummy.
And you know what I really wanted was Maggie O'Brien's $54 giant burger.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get next week because we're going to take Steve to lunch for Christmas.
Nice. Okay. I was going to say we need to get that again soon. It's too good of a deal.
It really is.
Yeah, I told Dave, like, we need to bring... I think it's too much for 4 people. It is, because we had a ton left over last time.
We had 25% of it left over, plus half that plate of fries.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 5 to 7 person meal, at least.
I always feel bad. Remember last time I asked will the cook be mad at me?
Yeah, I think that's a very fair question. If you go in and order the goofiest thing, novelty thing on the menu, I think it's a very actually nice question to ask. That's like, hey, we want this. Is that okay?
Yeah. I know it's 11 a.m. and we're asking
right.
you to make
Yeah,
a
I know it's 11 a.m.
burger.
You opened 6 minutes ago, but can we have the 5-pound
question
Goofo burger, please?
My gut is next week when we go in, I will obviously tip the server, but I will give her a $20 bill and say, give this to the cook. Is that cool, or is that presumptive, Richie Rich, bougie, like, who the hell do you think you are?
I can't think of anyone I've ever known that worked at a restaurant that would say no to a free $20 bill.
Okay. Because I do appreciate it.
I think, yeah.
You're cooking me a 3-pound burger.
Yeah, you're cooking the biggest possible, probably most complicated thing you could possibly cook. Like minutes after you open. I think that's a very nice thing to do, and I don't think they'd be like, get this free money out of my face, please.
Not taking a stand on the money thing, but counterpoint, if it's just open and you don't have a lot of tickets up, maybe it's the best time to be making one of those.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
they should be paying you.
No, I'm not going with that. I'm not saying it's not difficult or anything. I'm just saying, like,
we're actually heroes.
You know, when you've got 10 tickets in the window, it's a little different than just one.
That is fair. If they were like slammed on like a hockey night,
right?
And we walked in and we're like,
that, I'd feel a little jerkier then.
Give us 2 of the 50-pound burger, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. And I ran this by my partner in crime, Trish, last night, because she's usually the one I go to for my weird, like, hey, you ever think? And she's usually great about, like, oh, what about this? But she was in no mood last night, so she completely just said, like, leave me alone. In fact, I said something, you'll love this. I said something about me and how I'm worried that this thing could happen. And she's in the process of moving right now, just moved to a new place. We all know what that's like. And I would take a minute to go and find her actual text. But she basically said, I'm sorry, I just don't have it in me to talk about possible catastrophes in your future life.
I'm with it.
What?
That's so funny.
So you were trying to vent, and she was like, not now, man.
Just not now.
Do you remember
no one closes the door like Trish Gazelle.
Yeah. Rach, do you remember when there was that thing going around Twitter that was like, if you have something to say to someone, first you should say, like, do you have the emotional availability to handle someone's bad news or something like that?
That's funny.
It was very much like therapy speaking.
If anyone needs to do it, I need to. So here's my topic. So I'm 61. And my mom was 96 when she died. My dad was 76. I do lots of hospice stuff. I'm around old people all the time, typically in their mid-80s. And not only are they old, but they're just different. They're just different. And I'm only 20, 25 years away from that. And I can guarantee you that if I'm in my right mind, I will be 85 years old wearing jeans, Timberlands, beanie, and listening to Van Halen and the Beatles and stuff like that.
Nice.
Is that going to be to the younger generation the same as when the old people now are listening to Benny Goodman? And
probably.
You know? Like, I think I'm going to be hip, but the people who are 85 are probably still doing the same thing that they were doing when they were 45.
Yeah.
It's just no longer cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you look, quote unquote, old.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably about right.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be weird.
Just our old's going to rock a little harder than the current old.
Do we just think that?
Nick Swardson has a good joke from way back in the day about how he's going to be an old person who, listens to rap, and he's going to be like, your grandmother was a hoe. I always think about that when I think about getting old.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I just think that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think of like okay, as someone who has never really like posted a photo of themselves in like a provocative outfit or something on Instagram or Facebook or anything.
Wish I could say that.
Unlike the rest of us.
Right, unlike you guys constantly. But like people who do that, I mean, I totally understand like why that feels good. But a lot of times that decision is being made when you're like 20, 21 years old. Then it's like, well, what about when you're a grandma and your kids are like, I looked up your Facebook, Grandma, and I saw this picture. Like, I wonder how that's going to play out. But honestly, it probably will mean nothing at that point.
Yeah.
So I spend all this time like wringing my hands like, oh no, what if someone sees that they don't want to see it? It's like, I'm pretty sure they've already gone through that thought process before posting
My
the
mom
picture.
obviously never had Facebook, but her Facebook and postings were dozens of photos of her from when she was in her 20s, pushing her boobs out as far as she possibly could in bikinis. Swear to God. And like, it's
good for her.
It's a thing in my family. Everyone talks about it. My mom even talked about it. She's like, I was built like a but like my whole life, I remember just finding these pictures and being like, Mommy, who's this? She's like, that's your mommy. And blah, blah, blah. And like, so that, I mean, this goes back to the 40s. She was posting thirst traps as well. Seems like what young people do.
Posting them to the town bulletin board.
Almost seems like that's what they do. Like have always done forever and ever and ever.
If you're going to take pictures, take them in your 20s. I mean,
or if you're going to have someone paint your picture, because if it was before photography, maybe it was a painting instead of a photograph.
Yeah. JR says it's not going to be the same. Kids love our stuff. If they like rock, my 15-year-old girl loves Weezer, for instance.
There is less of a gap, I think, between like music now and music from the like 70s and 80s versus like music from the 70s and 80s versus music from the 20s.
Is music the
I would
biggest,
agree with that.
Is music the biggest gap generationally, you think?
No, I think it's got to be
humor.
I think it's
Humor's
got
a
to
good
be
one.
like humor is a good one, but I think it's got to be just like, I mean, at the moment it seems to be just the way we consume entertainment, right?
Kev, speaking of humor and bringing my mom back up, my mom was funny. Like you guys met her. She was funny.
Oh, yeah.
But we bought her a Far Side book back in the 80s or 90s, and she didn't get a single one. And it's one of our favorite memories because, like, my niece Aura and I were like, look, he's a red hot poker. He's made of flames and he's poking her. And she's like, I don't understand. Like,
just getting madder and madder as she flips through each one.
Just pissed her with every comment.
That's so great.
Rach, want to do Smart Mouth?
Yeah, Smart Mouth is available nationally at most supermarkets, pharmacies, supercenters, so places like Target, Walgreens, Walmart. You can also get it locally here at Schnucks. And look, brushing and flossing alone is not going to solve your bad breath. Minty mouthwashes are only going to mask your bad breath. To truly get rid of bad breath, you have to block it at its source, and Smart Mouth is the only mouth rinse on the market that is able to do that for you.
Yeah, we have been doing lives for Smart Mouth. I've been doing it, 15 years, and Ray's been doing it for 5 or 6 years. And it's a big compliment to she and I. We take it as such anyway, that when we talk to our guys at Smart Mouth, which is a St. Louis company, they're national, but they're based in St. Louis, created, discovered, marketed, manufactured, the whole thing in St. Louis, that they can't keep it on the shelves here in St. Louis. You guys have discovered it. Once you discover it, you'll never go back. You'll never go without it. It's the best addiction you're ever going to have. To save $2.50 off your first purchase, go to smartmouth.com/Glover.
The Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for their holiday food drive. Dave and the crew will be out at Hardee's in St. Peter's on Friday, December 19th, starting at 1 p.m. All donations benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. The Dave Glover Show, Hardee's, and Operation Food Search, and the Holiday Food Drive. Get all the details about the campaign, or to make a donation online, head to KMOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Welcome back, DGS 250. I hate to do this topic without Andrew because he is going to have an opinion, but just the way he's gone doing something. The other night I was in the zone and I decided to write down as many philosophic questions as I could, and the next morning half of them were stupid. What I'm about to ask you is not a gotcha question. It's a real question. I'm not going to go like, you're a monster. Is it a sufficient reason to control immigration into a country that you don't want to change the nature of the culture of your country? So you're protective of your culture, whether it's the United States or Belarus or whatever it is that a sufficient reason to you guys to control the immigration of who comes in?
I think it is a valid reason. The problem is, what is United States culture? Like, I think you should have to be able to define the culture you're trying to preserve.
Interesting. Andrew, I just asked the guys a philosophic question. Is the desire to keep your culture, whether it's United States or it's another country, is that a sufficient reason to control immigration?
I don't know if somebody else said this already. I don't know what American culture is.
It's exactly what Rach
said. Yeah.
I thought maybe because she's expressed that thought before, and I 100% agree with her. I don't know what American culture is, and I certainly don't care about it because I can't even name it. I've been living here 35 years, and I can't specify to you, like, American culture is this and this and this. And maybe American culture is, hot dogs and barbecue ribs and beer on 4th of July. I don't think anyone's trying to take that away from anyone. Also, I could live without it. If you said, no more hot dogs and barbecues and beer on 4th of July, I'd say, okay, that's fine. Not to say that there's never any good reason to, control immigration or whatever, but culturally, I would say, I don't know what that is. Do you have an idea in your head of what you would define as, like, American culture?
It's going to be a cop-out answer.
No cop-out.
It's a little bit like the justice who said, I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
Someone says, Go to Sleep says, isn't the point that we're all made of different people? that's as good of a description as I could give to America. That if you went back to 1786, you could go like, I'll tell you about the culture. They're all white. They're all landowners. Most of them are slave owners, and their culture is X. Today, after all the immigration we've had for 250 years, I think our culture is the melting pot. And as I said to you guys yesterday at lunch, I think the easy answer to what's going on right now in our country, not even necessarily Trump administration, I think that's the biggest symptom of it. But I think that after 250 years of saying, give us your poor, give us your huddled masses, and the world did, I think we're going, okay, that didn't work out the way we thought it would.
Didn't it?
Not for a lot of people.
But are we?
For me,
are
I'm
we
cool.
not?
For me, I'm cool. I think our differences are a strength. I know that's a real hippie thing to say, and probably someone's making the you-know-what sign, but I think it's true.
Are we not one of the two most powerful countries in the world? Probably the most powerful from any way you want to look at it, militarily, economically. How are we hurting? I mean, we have problems. Let's not get wrong. And this is why, to me, that's not even, to me, the culture is not even the consideration. There need to be more practical reasons that push you to, hey, we don't want to just, we want to control this. We don't want it to just be random. I mean, so example, who pays for healthcare problems? There are enough practical arguments that we don't need to get into symbolic ones. I think you fall back on symbolic ones when you got nothing else. And we have plenty of other real concerns. You got the concerns about people slipping in that want to do harm to the country. You've got concerns about how does this impact the workforce? How does this impact, hospital costs? And, there are a lot of real things to consider. I don't think we need to go to that one. And also, the places that tend to have that kind of focus are much smaller places. You know what I mean? A smaller country can do that, but it's like protecting the culture in half a state as opposed to covering a land that has 350 million people.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Listen up, Missouri. If you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is rolling in the Show Me State, and they are kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether you're betting football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is, you can do it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Download the FanDuel app today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement because it has been a lot of fun since it's been live and rolling in the state of Missouri. It is time to play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 3 o'clock, cloudy skies, 36 downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good afternoon, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, the federal government says yes, the seizure of an oil tanker off Venezuela is connected to the Trump administration's counter-drug efforts. In House testimony today, the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem praised U.S. forces for their unusual move to take control of a merchant ship. She says it is part of an effort to thwart drug trafficking. Meanwhile, the Senate rejected a bill that would have extended Obamacare tax credits. It all but guarantees that millions of Americans will see a steep rise in costs in the new year. Today, senators voted down a Democratic bill that would have extended the subsidies for 3 years. It is a busy time of year at U.S. airports, and the TSA wants you to get through the checkpoints safely and efficiently.
This is Brad Choate at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. TSA agents are doing their yearly holiday season blitz, warning travelers about items not allowed in carry-ons.
Snow globes are not allowed because of the liquid that's in there, and it's the size of the snow globe actually, because you can have they have smaller snow globes that's allowed through the checkpoint, but we prefer that you send any kind of snow globes, put them in your check bags.
Agent Sharon says also to not wrap presents ahead of time, wait till you get to your destination.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. An AI assistant can cut down the time it takes you to comparison shop this holiday season, but one expert tells us some may go too far.
Daniel Burris, strategic AI advisor and founder of Burris Research, says there's a downside when companies use your buying patterns and search prompts to ultra-personalize.
How well do you want them to know you? There is the flaw of that.
Burris says some examples are Amazon's Rufus and Google's Gemini.
How does Google make money? They sell everything they learn about you to advertisers. Everything they know, everything they get from you. So whatever you're sharing on there is fair game for Google.
He says independent platforms like ChatGPT can be prompted to offer you comparison charts and lists without requiring you to reveal more information than you want to. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
It's time for an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel Senior Vice President for Investments, Kevin Monton.
Thanks, Scott. The market's finished mostly higher to the day, with Dow hitting new highs up 646 at 48,704. S&P tacked on 14 at 6,900. NASDAQ was down, though, 93 points at 23,560, and the Bloomberg St. Louis Index was positive 20 to finish at an even 1,600. Stocks to the upside, Energizer gained 7.5% at 2087, and Centene was positive 4.6% at 4046. To the downside, Ameren was off 0.5% at 97.25, and Charter the same, down 0.5% at 212.06. Finally, Stifel positive 1.2% at 131.64. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
Thank you, Kevin. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza has been named the Associated Press Player of the Year. Mendoza led the Hoosiers to their first Big Ten championship since 1967, a 13-0 record, and the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. Now your forecast.
Mostly cloudy and cold this afternoon, high 36. Expect an area of snow to pass north and east of the city during the late afternoon and first part of tonight. Otherwise, remaining cloudy overnight, low 31. Mostly cloudy and cold tomorrow, the high 38. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now it is 35 in St. Peters, 33 in Florissant, 36 cloudy skies downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER. The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
David.
Fun day fact. This song was playing when I hit puberty.
The minute? The second?
This song. I was in 7th grade.
Is this the song that set it all off?
Yes. I was in 7th grade. I was sitting in the stands waiting to go to basketball practice, and the senior girls dance team were rehearsing to this song.
Okay.
And so
Gotcha.
I'm 13,
Gotcha.
and suddenly there are 18-year-old girls dancing, and I was like, I feel so weird. Never realized I love Styx so much. I'm sure this will pass. I'm sure I won't feel like this for the next 50 years.
Yeah. As a Steelers fan, I thank you for Renegade
You're
a little
welcome.
while ago. Yeah.
You're welcome. That's Janelle. She's with us every Thursday, except for next Thursday, because we are moving her to the next day. She will be out live with us Friday from the Hardee's on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, as will a number of celebrity guests. So we hope you guys will come out there and get some great Hardee's food and make a donation. Adriana has evidently made magnet versions of Rachel's original Turd Baby gingerbread man.
Nice.
And so we'll be selling those. I have 100 new DGS beanies. We'll be selling those as well. So hopefully you can get out there. I think my kids might stop by.
Wow.
That should be a lot of fun. This just kind of made me giggle. Before we get into the entertainment stuff that Janelle does, some guy posted this on TikTok, things that have peaked. I thought that was kind of like, oh, interesting. And here are his. Cold plunges, Pilates, Austin, Texas, creatine, matcha, Lululemon work pants, motorcycles, crumble cookies, Dubai chocolate, and Travis Kelce.
I'm sorry, what is this a list of?
Things that have peaked.
Oh.
So now they're at the downside?
Now they're on the downside.
Interesting.
He also had protein on there, but I didn't want to say that in front of you and Janelle.
Oh, my
Creatine,
gosh.
man. That's wrong.
I know. Creatine is life.
It's fantastic.
And matcha should have never been a trend in the first place. We went crazy with that. Matcha's never going
You know,
to
I think
actually
it's-
go out of style.
And I
That's
think
silly.
it's peaked. Writing silly lists.
Yeah, get out of here.
Out of here, listicle.
We think you're dumb.
Listicles are
your
lazy
list is
too, man.
stupid.
I don't have an idea. I'm just going to list some stuff.
Okay. That went well.
That touched a
Don't you
nerve.
come for my creatine.
Man.
So what are we seeing? What have we seen?
Well, we're getting towards the end of the year. Now, I have seen everything except for one movie that I only have one more screening from here until January, which is crazy. I think it's the Neil Diamond movie with Hugh Jackman. But today we're going to talk about Marty Supreme since Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong is in the news a lot.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who loves the all orange outfit
Yeah, the
that he
thing
was wearing on the red carpet with Kylie Jenner? Did you guys see
Didn't see
this?
And it doesn't bother me because there's a part in the movie where he's about to sell orange ping pong balls because he's making a case that you can't see white. They're asked to wear white shirts and then you can't see the white. And so he complains. So he has somebody make orange ones for it. So it's like, I get why he's wearing orange. And everybody was just like, ah. But like somebody had made the comment that the reason he's starting to fall out of favor is because he has been talking very highly of himself, which I actually don't have a problem with. But they say he has a sports mentality in an actor's in film or like towards his craft. And so that's the reason he's kind of being crapped on.
Like what kind of smack is he talking?
He does it. He just came out and said, I've put out about 6 to 8 really good performances and I don't want people to take those for granted. And everybody's like,
I mean, like, is that a lie? Like,
no, it's not.
Right. Like, that's the thing. And I was a slow, I was slow on the acceptance of Timothée Chalamet. Like, I didn't just love him right out the gate like so many people did.
Sure.
I really think he is the finest actor of that generation. He does an incredible job, and I like adore him now. Like, I will see any movie he does at this point.
He's killing himself for these performances. Like, he came out and said that he had wore contacts that messed up his vision so he could wear prescriptive glasses for this role as Marty in this movie. I mean, the kid is killing himself for his. I mean,
Okay, let me say this. That's stupid.
It is.
That's a little too Johnny Tryhard.
Glasses.
It is, but it's like it whatever it does, it works for him. I'm not gonna. I can't go in there and tell Timothy, who's one of the again, like she said, one of the finest actors we've got right now, and be like, do it different. I don't have to do. He's not asking me to do it. He's not telling other actors this is the way to go about it. He's saying this is what I do. I have put out some, and everybody's like, to just blatantly campaign for yourself for an Oscar is a little weird. I don't think so. I mean, why wait for somebody else to talk about your worth when, I mean, that's things people are uncomfortable with, though. Like, everybody thinks that I should be giving you your worth instead of me just inherently having it myself. So that's a whole other discussion. But the movie is fantastic. He really does do a great job in this movie. He's fun to watch. It is a black comedy, dark comedy. It's by one of the Safdie brothers, who the brothers together, I think it's Ben and Josh Safdie, who did Uncut Gems together. Well, they broke apart this year, and Ben put out The Smashing Machine with The Rock, and Josh put out Marty Supreme with Timmy Chalamet. And it's pretty clear who probably might have the talent as far as direction and screenwriting go.
Did you see Smashing Machine?
I did, yeah.
Did it just not connect, or was it just not a good movie?
I think it was a fine movie. Unfortunately, because of the topics he dealt with in his past, the movie dealt with all of it in a very sanitized way. He was a drug abuser and violent sometimes, and they just kind of glossed over some of those things. I'm not saying that it needed to get down and dirty and gritty, but if you want me to believe you're going through a plight and some angst, then you got to show it. It didn't really, it just very skimmed the surface of this gentleman's, I can't remember the wrestler's name, I apologize, or the UFC fighter, I can't remember what his name was, but it really skimmed the surface. This is a very, very sanitized view of it. And so I don't feel like because of that, because it wasn't willing to go there, that you just kind of felt like, am I watching like a Disney version of this guy's life or what? But yeah, no, again, Marty Supreme is the superior film.
What did you make of the Quentin Tarantino,
Paul
Dano and Matthew Lillard?
Quentin Tarantino has been doing a lot or saying a lot of dumb things lately. I think I don't understand it. I have my beliefs on maybe why he said that, and I don't want to speak on like his mental state. But it's taking shots at somebody who didn't. Why bring up these people who in no way did they invoke your name and call you a crappy director? You just out of the blue decided to just shoot at these guys for no reason. And there's some of the there's some of the most unproblematic, quietest guys out in Hollywood, and Quentin Tarantino just decides to.
Well, also, like, maybe he just has it in for Paul Dano, but I've seen There Will Be Blood probably 3 times.
Sure.
And as good as Daniel Day-Lewis is,
Right.
and he's a juggernaut,
Right.
to me, what makes the film so off-putting in a great way
Right.
is Paul Dano.
Of course.
Like, he's weak. He's weak sauce. It makes me think Quentin didn't get the film. Of course he is, because that was what the character was.
That's what it called for. Exactly
Yes.
right. Yes. It's Paul. I haven't seen Paul Dano put out any kind of bad acting. I think just it's kind of like some of these guys are just getting older, and I don't know if they're just losing control of their ability to just keep some things inside their head. But it again, it was uncalled for. It wasn't needed. It was nice to see a lot of people rally around Paul Dano's other actors and actresses saying, like, never had a problem with this guy. I think he's one of the finest actors of our time. And everybody kind of just, not agree with him and not fall in line with what he had said. Man.
I had a question for you guys, entertainment related. And before I say this, let me say, yes, I understand that I control all of this. But what I was going to say is I'm really into the Apple TV series Pluribus.
Okay.
Anyone else watching it?
Yes.
Kev, you are?
Haven't gotten much further into it, but yeah.
I really like it. It's very thought-provoking. Could be this, it could be that. And I started consuming TikToks where people are like, I think what's going on, or the hive mind is this and this. And then it turned on me where I'm like, you guys are ruining this for me. And I know that I don't have to consume it.
Sure.
I can just go, nope.
Right.
But it's sort of like every club I join, I end up not wanting to be there. Like back when I was riding, and look, I know the common denominator in this whole thing is me. So when I was riding motorcycles, I went on a few rides with motorcycle clubs. Oh my God, terrible. And like, if I went to a Bigfoot convention, I don't think I'd fit in. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And now with Pluribus, it's like, really? So I don't know.
It's because you're just that middle ground. You just can't pick a side.
Squishy.
You're very squishy in the
Very
middle.
squishy.
Yeah, so like, what are you gonna do about
What are you
it?
gonna do about it? You're just gonna bitch about it?
Right.
You need to get more extreme,
That's
Dave.
right. You need to like extreme in all levels of everything that you consume, watch, eat, everything. You need to just be, everything needs to be dialed to
I
an
think
11.
that's kind of my point is I'm into things that people tend to get extreme about, and I'm not.
Right.
Or maybe that's everything. Maybe like Andrew's card games is the same kind of way. Maybe wheels with baseball. Maybe you've met someone who's a little too into baseball for you. I don't know.
Do you think that like
I doubt it.
Probably not.
Yeah. Do you think that if you were things that you're really, I don't want to say extreme about, but things that you maybe are more like, like Rush and drums and stuff like, do you think if you were to consume that media and find people that would turn you off too about those subjects?
Yeah, I do.
Really? Okay. Well, then it's
a Dave issue. It's a Dave issue.
No, I don't think it's an issue. I think that you just kind of know where your boundary line is.
Yeah, it's like I always use the analogy, like you think you like the Dave Matthews Band until you meet your friend who loves the Dave Matthews Band. And then you're like,
but it's okay to not be that. I mean, like you don't have to be, like I said, you don't have to be at a 10 and 11 on subjects just because you enjoy them. You can just casually enjoy something.
Last week when you're on, you said you saw something, but you were embargoed. Do you remember what that was?
It's still Avatar, and I can't
Still embargoed.
until
Okay.
December 16th. But we have stuff that's I did watch a documentary called Predators with the Chris Hansen, and it covers the history of Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator, and it's pretty interesting.
Did he get in trouble in the end? My memory is he got caught for doing something bad.
No, but they do certainly. The guy who made the documentary certainly does take a stand as far as kind of wanting to call Chris Hansen out because there were some problematic things that happened due to the show and him doing this. But overall, it's a pretty good documentary. I would love to hear people's opinions on it. Some people loved it, some people didn't. But yeah, I think it's worth catching. And F1 is coming out on Apple TV.
Cool.
Roofman is out, I think, on Paramount Plus. Spinal Tap 2. Did you even know that was a movie?
I did. I keep seeing it. It's sort of, there's so many things from my childhood I talk about that I didn't feel smart enough.
Sure.
And Spinal Tap was one of those things. Like, that wasn't my brand of humor.
Right.
I saw it
I wonder
too
if
young.
you watch it now.
I bet I'd love it.
Yeah. And then Wake Up Dead Man is tomorrow on Netflix.
Okay.
So your Knives Out movie.
Let's give a shout out to Joel. He was having a conversation online with Rage here. Joel owns Verona Coffee in Collinsville. You know, we need to start. We need to start like a fight club for DGS, where you could go into Verona Coffee and say, hey, I'm from DGS. They're like, here's a muffin. Here's 10% off. Like, we have enough people out there that own businesses. We could get the DGS Army to go, give them trade. We should look into that. Tell you guys about Dr. Maupin and Dr. Sullivan at BioBalance Health. When you go in to see about getting pellets, and you don't need me to tell you how you should be feeling, I can just tell you that when I went in, which would have been about 55 years old, I was feeling very 55 years old, but I didn't really know it. And when I went on the pellets, it takes a couple weeks to kick in. But once it did, it reminded me like, oh, you just thought that you were really unhealthy or you had, long COVID or whatever it happened to be. But hormones are so important. I was just telling a story about hitting puberty at 13. We know how powerful hormones are, good and bad. And they've really helped me. They've really helped Trish Gazelle. She gets them from Dr. Maupin as well. Right next door is BioBalance Skin. They do Botox. They do chemical peels. They do fillers. They do M-Sculpts on your body and on your face. I love the micro-needling. It takes about 20 minutes. Your face is numbed up. I got two faces, one here and one up here, and it doesn't hurt that bad. And you kind of look like you have a sunburn when you go home. And within a couple days, my face looked as good as my face is capable of looking. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Please welcome one of the game's all-time greats.
There, when legends were born.
Stan Musial, another left-handed hitter. The slugger of the cards stands in there.
Listen to the crowd, everybody up on their feet. Stan waits. Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! A run is scored! Musial around first! On his way to second with a double! Holy cow, he came through!
Stan is certainly the man here in town and always has been and always will be.
For my mother and the Musial family, for making me a Cardinal forever. Thank you.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better. Let's get it.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, this is former Cardinal Adam Wainwright. Congratulations to KMOX on 100 years as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS 322. Did you know, were you listening yesterday when Dave Murray's wife fell?
I did, and I did.
So we don't know much more than you. Dave will join us regular time in about 15 minutes and let us know what happened yesterday live on the air, how Janice is doing. I see that Mitch is back on the stream. Mitch, we figured you got a girlfriend and left Mizzou. Maybe he felt a tremor in the force with Dave and he's back. So, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy yesterday. So, Andrew, your wife is a fan of Joel's Coffee Shop?
Yeah, I didn't recognize it by name, but when I went and looked it up, it's a great little place.
Very cool.
They have like specialty drinks like a lot of coffee shops have, and she likes to get the specialty drinks.
There you go.
I remember one of them she had honey in it, and she was a big fan.
Rach, want to do Razor's Edge?
I would love to do Razor's Edge. I have a list here from Cosmopolitan. Remember that?
Sure do.
Cosmo? They did a list of stores from the 90s that aren't around anymore. I just thought it would be kind of fun to take a little trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Number one, this is a pretty obvious one, but Blockbuster. There's only one remaining store on the earth, and it's in Oregon. It's basically a tourist attraction these days. But the thing about Blockbuster is I can smell Blockbuster now. There was such a distinct smell. And then you get to the register, and that's where they would usually have buttered popcorn, too. So
I've said this before, but everyone my age, everyone who is of Blockbuster age, remembers the magic of knowing they're not going to have that first run movie. And then you get there and you're like, you don't have the Fugitive, do you? They're like, we have one ready. And you're like, oh my God. Please be kind. Rewind.
Sports Authority. I forgot about this place.
Yeah. That was a pretty big one back in the day.
Let's see. The Art of Shaving. I've heard of this. I've never seen it in person. I'm assuming it's like a fancy shaving store. Number 5 on the list, Radio Shack. Used to be in every neighborhood in America, and it was the go-to place. Oh, my goodness. Filed for bankruptcy in 2017, and things have never been the same. R.I.P. to
It's about the time
Shack.
you left.
No.
Okay.
I was working on this show in
Trying to help you
2017. Sam Goody, kind of in the same vein as Radio Shack a little bit. I barely remember Sam Goody, but they used to have one at Alton Square Mall, and I just remember racks and racks of CDs and stuff, and that was the cool store.
Speaking of not feeling cool enough, did you guys ever go to Peaches?
No.
Oh, man. Peaches was like the KC 95 place. It's like, like people who were really into music, and it was it was way above my pay grade.
That's like vintage vinyl. To me, I'm just not cool enough to go in there, so I'm not even try.
Anytime I'm in vintage vinyl, I swear I'm ashamed of this, but I will buy a cover item to show that I'm cool. Like, I just need the Beatles' White Album, but give me something from Miles Davis. I'll never listen to this, but.
Janelle, do you remember the store Wet Seal?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that one's completely gone these days, too. But, man, Wet Seal just had basically, trendy, kind of cheapy clothes. And then they would have these huge sales where you could get stuff for, nothing.
Yeah, swimming suits were big.
Zany Brainy? I don't remember this.
Kids games
and
puzzles.
Kids stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a learning-based.
It was a disappointment is what it was.
Yeah, every kid went in there I got to learn.
It was a trap.
Yeah. Looks like toys, but you got to learn.
This one's called Mathnasium, Nick.
Okay, here's a couple that we had these in Alton Square Mall. Actually, I'm not sure if we had a B. Dalton, but I know I've been in a B. Dalton before.
B. Dalton Booksellers.
We had a Walden Books.
That's next on the list, and then Borders is after that. I don't know if we had a Borders in Alton
We
Square
didn't.
Mall.
We had a Borders in Edwardsville.
Okay, so then I think we did have a B. Dalton.
We had a Walden Books for sure.
100%.
Did we also have a B. Dalton
That's what
in
I'm
the mall?
thinking,
Say every mall
you know
had
what?
at least one, if not both of those. Yeah.
You know what? I think she's right. I think there was both of them, and then I think B. Dalton's went first.
Yes.
There's still
And
one
Walden
in
Books.
West County Mall.
It's Barnes & Noble.
Is it Barnes & Noble?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the final one I'll bring up, because we're out of time, Circuit City. Man, we would go to Circuit City with my dad, and it was kind of fun, but I was always just wishing we were at Best Buy instead.
It was the dustier version.
Yeah.
It was the Burger King of technology.
Yeah.
Buckle up, St. Louis. The hot stove is already blazing as Heim Bloom gets to work. The Blues look to make December one to remember, and we're following every shift. And as KMOX races towards its 100th anniversary, the Gas House Gang celebrates the legendary voices that made it America's sports voice. Big stories, big moments, and the biggest names in St. Louis sports all month long. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on KMOX.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband. This is the season of joy, and it's time that your internet provides that for you. Other service providers will tell you that their internet is fiber-powered. That's different than i3 that delivers true fiber internet into your home. It's so reliable, the pricing is crazy, and they give you a 2-year price lock with zero commitment. i3 is your hometown local internet provider, here for you for every way you celebrate the season. Head to i3broadband.com/radio or call 877-976-0711.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app now. Use code RADIOMO. Place your first bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Open to new users in Missouri who are 21 or older. First wager after registration must qualify and win. And bonus bets expire 30 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promotions or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. As the year comes to a close, I want to thank our clients, colleagues, and communities for your trust and support. We're especially proud of the Stifel U.S. Ski Team. Their drive, resilience, and pursuit of their goals this winter reminds us what's possible when we stay committed. From all of us at Stifel, we wish you and your family a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with health, happiness, and success. Stifel, where success meets success.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls. Whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This is Kyle Bush with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. How many times have you changed jobs over the years? If you're like many professionals, you may have left behind one or more 401ks. Unwatched, unmanaged, and potentially your largest retirement asset. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind. Let's make sure it's working as hard for your future as you are. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
The St. Louis University men's soccer team is heading to the College Cup, the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. The Pelicans face North Carolina State this Friday night. Catch all the action live starting at 7 p.m. on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. At Penn Mutual, we believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 334 from the Saliga Heating Cooling Desk. Dave Murray is back with us.
Let's try this again.
Let's try this again. Is Janice secured?
Yes.
Okay.
I said, she's out, sitting out in the backyard.
So walk us through. That was the single weirdest moment in 25 years.
It was, as I said to Rachel later on in the day, I said, well, you never know what's going to happen on live radio.
You really don't. You really don't.
Yeah, she slipped on the stairs, but she's okay. But she actually, what was happening was that I was, right after the broadcast, I was going to take her down to a nail salon for a manicure and pedicure. And she just caught the last step of our stairs. And bang. Nothing broken, nothing hurt, other than some great screams on radio.
Oh, man.
I shouldn't be laughing. So, you know what? We're all on track. We're doing surgery tomorrow to fix that left elbow.
Okay.
So other than that, I tell you, my phone just blew up.
Oh, I bet.
I bet.
Freaking blew up.
Yours
yesterday.
and mine, too. Did she hear it? Like, have you gone back and listened to it?
No, we have not. I don't think she wants to.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to either.
So that's never a dull moment.
Nope. Well, that's good. I'm glad she didn't hit that elbow again.
Man.
Well, you know what? My feeling is if she hit her elbow, so what?
Yeah, we're fixing it tomorrow.
Just don't hit the other one.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, so glad that she's doing okay.
Yes,
and we'll
so
be thinking about you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Hopefully you've got it out of the system for 2025. Let's just
there's been so many really good things in 2025, but starting to wind this year down, just kind of making up for some of those good things.
Do you once all this is over with, maybe early next year, you think Janice would ever join us on the stream?
Oh, absolutely. She actually asked, should I come on today?
Oh, I would love that.
Okay.
Go grab her.
Go grab her. Now, what are we talking about?
Oh, she's hurt, Dave.
That doesn't matter to a Murray.
That's right.
That's right. I remember about the stories about his dad. Yes. So yeah.
That is.
Well,
that is secondary. So, how are we looking for the weekend, Dave?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I think I kind of mentioned that yesterday, but nothing's really changed. So we're same book. We do have a little band. It's a bit of a cold front. It's not a serious cold front coming through right now. So there are these little bands of light snow and flurries that will be around from now until about 10 o'clock tonight. I'm not anticipating really any accumulation, maybe a dusting on the grass, but it shouldn't cause any problems other than maybe a dropping of visibility, and especially in Illinois as we go through the next couple of hours. And that's in effect. That's going on right now. Tomorrow's a quiet day, partly to mostly cloudy, 39. I'm going to go through the forecast, then I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit. Cold on Friday night, 21. Now, Saturday, we are ahead of a big-time Arctic cold front. So we're 28 degrees on Saturday, which so far doesn't sound that bad because we are ahead of that front. but it's cloudy on Saturday. There will be light snow and snow flurries around. Right now, I'm thinking an inch or less accumulation. And again, 28 degrees. The mother lode of cold from the North Pole, thanks Santa, opens up fairly quickly Saturday evening. Saturday night is partly cloudy and cold, 4 for the overnight low. The record's -2 from 1901, so I think that's safe, but it's going to be cold. Sunday is sunny and bitterly cold. The high Sunday is only 14 degrees. 13 is the coldest record high on Sunday. So we have a shot at that. Then 8 degrees on Sunday night, warmer almost all of next week. In fact, by Wednesday, I think we are about 50 plus degrees come Wednesday. Yeehaw. Now, wind chills over the weekend. Not that it's going to be overly windy, but with a temperature of 4 degrees and 14, wind chills will be about -10 over the weekend, especially late night, first thing in the morning. This cold air is direct from the North Pole. It's blowing over a very large area of snow cover. That's why this is so cold. However, after this weekend, especially Saturday night, Sunday night, warmer air comes in here. No heat wave, but better. I think we climb barely into the 40s on Monday and again near in the 50s come Wednesday. As far as the Arctic cold, I think it's stuck now. Once this gets released, it's going to have to take quite a while to rebuild because this is really just an outpouring of this cold air. So nothing in the way of really Arctic cold air through Christmas right now. However, from Christmas into the new year, it does look like another cold air mass will be taking over. And what always tends to happen when you have a warm up and then another shot of cold air coming in, that tends to develop some southwest storms. So again, we have to be very careful of that going through the Christmas holidays. Still counting on that white Christmas.
You know my thing where I'm supposed to open windows during a tornado?
Yep.
Another big one with Jack and Francis, which I think is probably true, is when it gets that cold, you open your cabinets so that the pipes are exposed to more heat from your house, and you drizzle a little bit of water going down the drain so the pipes don't freeze.
Yeah. I think that's still very true.
Okay.
But this is not like 1989 December cold, which is we had a overnight low of -16 and a high of, I think there was one day we had a high of 0. And that was it. That in 89, it was up until Christmas, it was brutally cold. And then it broke on Christmas and we jumped into the 60s and the 70s. And that was it for winter. That was it. I don't think that's happening this particular winter, but just shows you what could happen.
Headlines, Rach?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. All right, we're going to start out with horrible news. 75% of U.S. houses are unaffordable for the middle class. This is according to a new analysis of data from Realtor.com. Bankrate did this analysis. So the typical American household needs to make at least $33,000 more annually to be able to afford a median-priced house. So that median-priced house is being sold at about $435,000.
Wow.
But the average household in the U.S. only earns $80,000. So, yeah, in order to afford that, you're going to need to make $113,000 to make the payments on a house at that price.
If there was, I don't mean this conspiratorially, because I think the government all the way back has been sort of aiming things. You know, they support this, they outlaw that. And I think that back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's a big push for the American dream. Dave, you remember this? Home ownership and, chicken in every pot. It seems like we've lost that thread somehow. Maybe just we took our eye off the ball, or the government stopped doing what it was doing to try to promote that, or forces that were unforeseen. But doesn't it feel like we're kind of losing that momentum generationally?
Yeah, I think you see that in people renting now. The rental numbers are very high.
Yes.
And that's for homes.
And the
just not
rental
apartments.
prices are very high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, well, apparently nobody cared to make their children's and grandchildren's lives better than their own, which used to be the whole idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody used to be, I want this to be a better economy or a better world or better for my kids than it was for me. Well, we're not setting that up. We're not. There's just no other question about it. Like we have chosen not to pursue paths that would allow these things to be more normal. Like if the cost of living goes up at a greater percentage than average income over a 35 year period, this is what happens.
Well, and then there's also the issue of these corporations buying up real estate in the U.S. and taking these homes off the market and providing us with less opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good situation. Elon Musk has admitted that Doge was a disappointment. When asked during an interview on the Katie Miller podcast this week if he would ever do Doge again, Musk said, I mean, no, I don't think so. I think instead of doing Doge, I would have basically built, worked on my companies, essentially. And he also later in the interview brought up the fact that they wouldn't have been setting Teslas on fire if I would have never done this. Not saying like that was something, not saying like, oh, he deserved that, but he sees like that there's a direct line drawn from Doge to that. And at one point, he lost an estimated $16 billion in one day through Tesla because of the turmoil.
Hindsight is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us have common sense that doesn't put us in positions where like, I'm going to step away from my businesses and do nothing productive. Like, what did we benefit from with Doge?
Nothing.
How did the country get better?
He says
it was a colossal waste of our time.
The one thing he's proud of is he was able to shut down some of those zombie payments, like payments going out to people who had passed away, payments going out to people who, it wasn't supposed to go out to them. And that is nice, but it wasn't a fraction of what was promised.
No.
So
I'm not even sure that it was recouping the costs of running Doge.
Mm-mm.
Which, again, I don't want zombies getting checks. I think we can all agree with that. But why do we need to open our information to the richest man in the world to do this, as opposed to just hiring really smart people who don't have, a vested interest in our money?
Yeah, and I hate that it really just comes down to him going oopsie and just going about his life where everything is wrecked.
Well,
right. Oops. Won't
hey, that's
do
fine
that
if
again.
it's. You notice though, this is the trend, right?
Yeah.
Like business owners. I mean, like these big, and this is Donald Trump thing too. Is like when you run a business, you can do that because it's your business.
Right.
The government is not your company.
No, it's not supposed to make a profit.
It's not a company. It's just a thing to get services done for the people that live there. And unfortunately, when you have people who are going to look at it, and it's a lot of people that have been appointed, and this was true, by the way, in previous cabinets, not just of this presidency. That was the big thing for the W. Bush, right? It's the CEO administration. Okay. But we're not a company. We're not a for-profit entity. We should be figuring out how to make things better for the 345 million people that live in the country and not just pet projects for people that have interests.
So I'm especially not smart about macro things like that, economics and such. But I knew, like if someone would have said, you can bet for or against Doge, I would have put 75% of my nest egg against Doge. That eventually this is going to come out, and it should have been called douche, right? Like, didn't you guys feel the same way? Like, didn't you just see it and go, this is not going to end well?
Yes. I think almost everybody that wasn't a sycophant saw it.
Well, and the thing is that, so they claimed savings on a lot of things, but some of those savings were the elimination of jobs, which then had a negative impact.
There were also
elimination. So hire them back.
There were also elimination of contracts that were already coming to an end.
Yeah, But like the point here is that it actually probably did more damage than good.
Sure. For sure.
You actually did more damage than what you recovered by going through the steps, which is why it shouldn't be somebody's CEO doing it. It should be people with really broad public policy experience.
But Kevin, you heard him. He said oopsie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did he say he was sorry?
No,
he just said oopsie.
He just said oopsie.
He says he wished he would have just kept focusing.
He
on
is
his
the most
companies.
punchable person on earth.
Oh, so punchable. He so needs it.
We should probably go to break.
All right.
On that note, before we get into any more problems.
Thank you, Dave.
All righty.
traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Looks like autumn has arrived, and all fall long, a Metro Transit Day Pass is still just $5, which makes you just one click away from your one-day mental health fall getaway. Plan your trip at metrostlouis.org.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Recreation at Tillis Park, is now open through January 3rd. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. Happy holidays from Kirkwood Fence, Tully Tire, Washington University Orthopedics, Restoration One, and Happy Roof. More info at KMOX.com.
This is Megan Lynch. 250 doctors go to Ophthalmology Associates. That's why I trust them. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
.353 DGS. You want to hear some little-known facts about a Charlie Brown Christmas?
Yes, please.
I'd love a Charlie Brown Christmas.
It's coming out this weekend on Apple. Yeah.
I'm so in that wheelhouse. It had a budget of $76,000 from CBS and Coca-Cola to get made and a 6-month time frame. There was almost an added laugh track, but Charles Schultz would not let that happen.
That's good. That would have ruined it.
For sure. I remember back in that day, it was all laugh tracks. Like everything had a laugh track. And Charlie Brown really stood out because it didn't. Snoopy's voice is just sped up nonsense. There's a person who's going like, and they just spit it up, and that's Snoopy's voice. Such interesting choices on the voice actors and Snoopy and the adults. Like that was pretty like forward thinking. Charles Schultz hated jazz music, but thought that it still fit that special. So that's why we have that great soundtrack. Charlie Brown's head was difficult to animate because of its round shape. Snoopy was the easiest. And it killed aluminum tree sales because viewers became more interested in real trees. And they thought that was the message of the program, was that you can only really celebrate Jesus' birth with a real tree. So aluminum tree sales just went in the crapper.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also happen to know this one, and I think I've said this on the show before, but they showed it to the brass at CBS, and they hated it. And they said, we can't show this. Like, find me something else.
Now it's a classic.
Now it's a classic. Tell you guys about my friend Matt Bays at Bays Sports Medicine. So Matt is a sports doctor. That's what he does. He's been the sports doctor for several high school teams and college teams. Phoebe's gone to him throughout her sports career. He's great at broken ankles and sprained ankles and twisted knees and rotator cuffs and neck injuries and just all that stuff. He's great at triaging it and being able to tell you, we can treat this right here. You're going to need to have this set and have a cast. You're going to need surgery. Let me send you to Dr. Corey Solman. Or I think we can treat this really effectively with stem cell injections, which works really well for old injuries, things that are chronic, things that you may have had for decades. He can help you out. 636-735-3003 or BaysSportsMed.com.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rider?